apparently, this video here has 12 unwritten rules in the WWE. Now, I don't know if we're being sensationalized or whatever, but I want to know what's going on there, just in case I, decide to get up off my ass and become a pro wrestler. I like wrestling. What if I want to get in the WWE and don't know what's happening? Well, today we're going to find out the 12 unwritten rules. If you'd like to check out the original upload of the content and show some love and support, which you should do, click that top link in the description. If you want to react to content with me and the flock live over on Twitch, my beautiful crows, you know where to find that link. It's at the bottom. I also have a bonus Patreon content that is free. There's a free tier on the Patreon with a whole bunch of content that I can't upload to YouTube. So if you guys want more Cratewraith for whatever reason, go ahead. That being said, let's get right into the video. I've been letting the young ones slide.
No, they broke the rule. It's the unwritten rule. You can't just come out whenever you want. What are you, a psycho?
12 unwritten WWE rules. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 1, never headbutt a Samoan. Now, whenever a wrestler with Samoan heritage is wrestling, it's common knowledge that they are virtually immune to headbutts. This has been seen time and time again in major matches, and although the rule is slowly fizzling,
I actually love that like a never headbutt a Samoan thing. I think the last time I seen a reference was actually was it the Royal Rumble? Cena versus Jay? Didn't they just do that recently? Like, I love it. I love it.
out, some wrestlers decide to stick with the unwritten rule. Notably, in late 2024, Drew McIntyre delivered a Glasgow kiss on Jey Uso, and although the main event Jey took the bump for the move, McIntyre reacted as if he'd been knocked out as well. Now, sometimes it's not just headbutts that Samoans are immune to. Sometimes it could even be D'Lo Brown's leg drop, as seen with Rikishi. And if you think WWE's female Samoan talent are excluded, well, Paige found that out with Tamina. Number 2, never hit Rikishi's backside. Rikishi's biggest weapon during his WWE
said, don't hit the wagon, don't hit the yams, Rikishi yams. Don't hit the yams. Yes.
run wasn't actually his head, but his backside. Rikishi was prone to using his backside for various moves, most infamously the stink face, and he used it as a defense mechanism from time to time. But one time during a match with John Cena, the future face of WWE attempted to deliver a punch right to Rikishi's rear end, and Cena acted as if it was made of steel. Cena then proceeded to act like he had just had his hand broken. This was a genius spot, and Cena sold it incredibly well, despite it being utterly ridiculous. Number 3, the
Dude, look at Cena's arms. Dude. Holy shit, man. Go.
Cena sold it incredibly well, despite it being utterly ridiculous. Number 3, the Spanish announce table goes first. Now, whenever an announce table is set to break in WWE, it's common practice that the Spanish or the international announce table is always first to break.
Yo, Randy has some terrible luck with those damn tables. That shit looked horrible. I did hear about that too, Thraga.
Announce table goes first. Now, whenever an announce table is set to break in WWE, it's common practice that the Spanish or the international announce table is always first to break. It's like a magnet, as WWE Spanish play-by-play commentator Carlos Cabrera would describe the announce table in 2012, and this perfectly summed up how wrestlers view the table. The spot on the rule has become so well known that WWE announcers and wrestlers like to make passing jokes about it on WWE television. WWE have attempted to move away from this trope in recent years, but it's still extremely common for any international announce table to be completely destroyed before the main commentary table. Now, in relation to why this is, from a practical perspective, sometimes it makes more sense to keep the table intact. This is especially the case when WWE are producing a very long show, as keeping commentators like Michael Cole sitting with no table for hours on end could be a very tough task. When WWE began to implement announce table spots into matches, they quickly realized that they were going to have to change how the table was positioned. When
Fuck. Dude, there was mad shit on that table that just popped up and hit them.
Into matches, they quickly realized that they were going to have to change how the table was positioned. When Diesel and Bret Hart used the Spanish announce table for a huge spot in the 1995 Survivor Series showdown, Carlos Guerrero would be trapped as the barrier was just too close to him and he unfortunately hurt his knee. Luckily, WWE changed this and they ensured that any international broadcasters were going to be kept safe. Coincidentally,
Roma fucking exploded. Cigarette bubbles fucking exploded. It's like it will be alive.
Safe. Coincidentally, this was also the first time the Spanish announce table was broken in WWE. Number 4, you set it up, you go through it. Now, have you ever noticed that if a wrestler sets up a table, then 9 times out of 10, they will go crashing through it? The reason for this is that the wrestler will want to take responsibility for the safety of the table, and if the table malfunctions, they can't blame their opponent, as they were the one that set it up. This has been an established rule in all major companies for decades, and it's a rule that makes a ton of sense, and it avoids any unneeded confrontations. The same rule is applied for spots involving chairs or other weapons, and the only time that any deviation occurs from this set rule is when fans are playing WWE 2K24. Number 5, WWE referees have 1 HP in every
1 HP? Yo, referees will definitely die if you like sprint at them.
match. One of the most hilarious and common unwritten rules in wrestling is that if a referee takes a move, then they will be out of action for an extended period. It doesn't matter what the move is, the referee is going to sell the impact to the move as if he's just been annihilated in the ring. And the reason for this is that when a referee is taken out of action, it's so some type of illegal action can occur during the match, and the referee needs to be out of action for a significant amount of time. This was a rule that was heavily mocked during the Attitude Era, yet it's continued as the years have gone on, and fans have started to question if this is a rule that needs to be switched up. Criticism comes from the fact that a lot of referees, particularly those in WWE, are shredded and are actually in peak physical condition. Therefore, it just makes a lack of sense for them to be knocked out for such a long time. Interestingly, when a wrestler takes a role of a guest referee, they somehow seem to be knocked out rather easily, and they act as if they have never taken a wrestling move before. Perhaps the referee shirt is cursed. Number 6, wrestlers have to watch TV at a 30-degree angle. Vince McMahon had a range of unusual rules during his WWE leadership, and one of them related to insisting that wrestlers would watch television backstage at a 30-degree angle. Now, this was clearly so the camera could see the wrestler.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about this. What the hell? This is such like a weird wrestling, isn't that? I just like blocked it out in my brain. Like, okay, whatever. They're just watching TV. It's so odd.
His entire body, but even still, it made the wrestler look completely ridiculous. Who watches TV at a 30-degree angle? Now, this is not something that is just existing now. This goes all the way back to the New Generation era, as seen by Bret Hart, even into the Attitude Era, as seen by The Rock, but now it's definitely become more prevalent in this era. But one of the complaints for fans was that this greatly exposed that WWE was a TV show, as nobody was ever going to watch TV in this manner, and it was a rule that needed to die out. Former WWE talent Renee Young, who conducted interviews backstage in WWE for years, spoke about this rule during an interview with Sportskeeda, and Young quite rightly labeled the rule as weird and odd. Couldn't tell you, I have no idea. It's so weird. It's like when you're playing house, sort of, you're like pantomiming watching TV instead of watching it. It's odd, and I understand obviously when you're doing television and you're performing in some capacity, you've got to like open up to the camera more so that everybody could see you and that they could see your reaction.
I don't think we needed a whole ass Renee Young quote. We didn't need all this, bro. But come on.
It's more of that, I believe. It's more for the audience to see somebody kind of trying to watch the monitor, but they're not really able to see all that much. I don't know, I have no idea. Now, thankfully, Triple H has maybe loosened the rule on this, as he was probably sick of fans and companies such as AEW heavily mocking the bizarre trope. Number 7. Wearing jeans for a street fight makes you stronger. As some wrestlers, when competing in a street fight, decide to wear jeans. This was a rule that began in the 80s, and it certainly brings an element of grit and realism to what is supposed to be an...
Are those who I think they are? Are those the guys? I think I recognize Mr. Kevin. I think I recognized Kevin Von Erich for sure.
Incredibly serious matchup. The idea, on paper at least, is that a street fight is supposed to see a wrestler come as you are, meaning that you should be wearing clothes as if they were walking out on the street.
Sadness
Some iconic examples of wrestlers...
Lita, those titties are literally a sneeze away from popping out, honey.
Meaning that you should be wearing clothes as if they were walking out on the street. Some iconic examples of wrestlers going for the jeans look for the match type include Shawn Michaels and Edge in 2005 and Chris Jericho and CM Punk in 2012. Still, wouldn't jeans make you more hindered in the ring or even outside of it? Wouldn't you rather wear your wrestling gear? Number 8. You can't powerbomb Billy Kidman. The former WWE and WCW star Billy Kidman is seemingly immune from the dastardly powerbomb. Whenever Kidman was in WCW, for virtually every match, Kidman would get out of the powerbomb and counter it in some way, shape, or form. It was almost as if Kidman didn't like to take a huge bump that the powerbomb involved. This actually became a running joke online, so much so that compilations exist of Kidman escaping the powerbomb. Those few diehard Kidman fans saw this and decided to respond with their own compilation of Kidman actually taking the powerbomb bump, which certainly added great...
The fuck? Why do they go out of their way to find him actually getting dumped? That's funny as hell. I'm getting deja vu though. I don't know if we watched this video already. I'm gonna upload a new one anyway. We got a new model, bitch.
Hilarity to the law of this unwritten rule. Number 9. Never drink a beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, if Stone Cold Steve Austin offers a wrestler a beer, they should turn it down immediately. This gesture from Austin is 99% of the time going to lead to a wrestler taking a Stone Cold Stunner. And despite this happening hundreds of times over the past few decades, wrestlers just don't seem to catch on to the fact that this is an unwritten rule within the law of WWE. Now, we said 99% of the time, as there are certain names that have escaped this fate, however. This is usually babyfaces. Most notably, Becky Lynch on Raw in 2020 escaped without being hit with a stunner. This was likely due to WWE's policy on intergender wrestling. The same didn't apply for Stacy Keibler or Linda McMahon though. Number 10. Never climb a ladder quickly. The ladder matches have become so formulaic in modern wrestling, as every single ladder match features the wrestler refusing to just rush up the ladder and take what's above the ring. If a wrestler makes any attempt to speedrun the ladder climb, then they will usually stop halfway through, or they will only rush up to meet their opponent at the top for the planned spot. It's practically an unwritten rule in ladder matches that you can only win if you climb as slowly as a sloth. Now, it's worth noting that ladder matches, particularly those with numerous wrestlers, are extremely hard to produce, and if every wrestler was booked to rush up the ladder, then it would be hard to execute key spots, and could even lead to a surge of botches and injuries. Number 11. Referees are legally deaf. And why is it that referees such as those in WWE have very limited hearing? Whenever the referee is distracted, they somehow lose their hearing altogether and are unable to hear things such as chair shots. Referees are often labeled as the most incompetent individuals within a match, and it's easy to see why, as companies such as WWE just make them utterly incompetent. Now, there must be a smarter way to execute these spots, as it's become a trope that has become tired, and deviating away from this unwritten rule and giving referees some credence would definitely be a positive step forward for modern wrestling. And number 12. For music hits, stop exactly what you're doing. And if a wrestler's theme song suddenly begins to play in the middle of a wrestling match, then whoever's in the ring will stop what they're doing and concentrate on the Titantron like they've just been hypnotized. The worst example of this being Mustafa Ali at the Money in the Bank briefcase match, as Brock Lesnar's music hit, and Ali couldn't just unhook the briefcase. Instead, he...
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. But why not just rush to get that shit off and get out of the ring, bruh? You really let Brock come all the way down from the ramp like, oh, a no-bo. Is that Brock Lesnar? Oh. Nah, I'd be pissed if I watched this live. What?
Stayed there for what seemed like an eternity. And this is a rule that makes zero sense, and it's almost as if the wrestler in the ring loses all focus and can't continue the match until they see the wrestler surface from the backstage area. This trope sometimes ends with nobody even coming out, and this has become a staple of matches in WWE, so much so that fans have urged them to abandon this spot completely. One of the ways that WWE have switched things up is by having a wrestler's theme play, then for a wrestler to interfere from behind. Whilst this is a much smarter way to handle the spot, the wrestler who's distracted still looks like a total fool. It makes him look like they've never watched a wrestling match before. But there you have it, folks, 12 unwritten WWE rules. Be sure to leave your comments down.
Aw, Kev. Aw, Kev. What the fuck is this Dean Ambrose? Fake Jeff. Fake. Boom bites Brock was pretty dope. I liked it. Thank you guys for watching this video with us. If you'd like to check out the original upload of the content, go ahead and click the top link in the description. I ain't gonna stop you. In fact, I encourage it. If you're after content with me and my flock, my beautiful crows, live on Twitch, the link is at the bottom of the description. We've also got a Patreon with free bonus content, so if you guys wanted more Cratewraith that I can't upload to the main channel because, well, YouTube spanks me and they treat me like a naughty ghost and I don't like it, well, you can find it on the Patreon. I'll be seeing you guys in the very next video, unless you're a weenie. Thank you so much to those of you that have made it over to the Patreon. I appreciate you.
I'm still hungry.